Okay, we're back in the shop this morning working on our bourbon barrel stave cutting board. And this morning I'm going to, I believe I'm going to use the black walnut on this one. I think the contrasting colors would look nice, although I may decide to use the oak. But either way, the second one, I'll make another platter for it, but just wanted to go ahead and turn them both and see which one I liked. I've already marked center in both. I'm going to start with the walnut, and I'm going to use my glue block with Titebond CA glue. Put a small bead around the edge. Hit the base with the activator. Put my handy dandy little center marking tool. Like I said, I've already marked center on this. And she's there. Okay, here we are at the lathe. Got everything mounted. Everything spins freely. Let's make this board round. Okay, switch to the round tip. I'll work this edge. Readjust my tool rest. Okay, I've used a compass for my center point, and I've made a circle, and that just gives me reference to where I'm going to drill a small recessed hole where the spindle will sit in. So I'm going to take and shape outside that area. I'm going to leave that area flat. Okay, we're pretty much there. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of sanding and smooth out a few places. Okay, we've got it all sanded up. Had to turn the air filtration on and went through all the grits up through 320. I'm pleased with the finish. I love the figuring on this black walnut, the layering of the ring. Okay, I've gotten the oak and the black walnut cake stand bases turned and sanded. Now I'm going to start on the spindles. Main thing is get these round. We'll add a little shape, but we're going to leave what I refer to as full body. They're going to be thicker than I did on like the ring holder, because after all, these are supporting a 12 to 13 inch cake platter and cake, so they have to be. And I'm going to use my Woodpecker's square tip for the rounding process. And this is a carbide tip turning tool. Now the first step, I'm going to take a little bit off all the way around, but I've got to take this end down so that I can get it into my 4-jaw chuck. Okay, just double checking my measurements here. I'm at 1.73, and my chuck, which is not all the way open, is 175. It's not all the way closed either, but that will fit in. While I'm in this setup, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the oak pedestal. Now this is the first time I've turned any oak. This is white oak, and I'm liking how it's turning out so far. All right, we're ready to assemble the pedestal for the walnut into each other. We're going to use Titebond III wood glue because these will get washed every once in a while. Therefore, we want a waterproof glue. Now, I left my top open on my dispenser bottle, so I'm going to have to carefully pour a small amount so that I don't get any squeeze out. Roll it around in there, spread it out all evenly. Okay, I've gone ahead and glued the walnut together, the spindle and the base. Had a little glue squeeze out. By the way, I used Titebond III, waterproof. These will be getting washed on occasion in the sink. Most of the times you can just clean the top of a platter off with a damp rag, but from time to time they may. But I had a little glue squeeze out, cleaned it with a water-soaked rag, got all that off, which normally if you're staining something, you got to be very, very cautious about glue squeeze out because your stain won't adhere to the glue. But here we're leaving it natural and we'll clear coat it, so we'll be okay. I'm going to leave it in here 30 minutes to an hour, and I'll release this and it'll be okay, but I just won't do anything else with it for at least 4 hours.
Okay, we had some technical difficulties for our epoxy pour. So I show you this. I poured for a cheese board and for the cake platter. Also, I originally planned on making a round cake platter, but my beautiful wife influenced me into leaving it somewhat square, following the shape of the staves themselves, but it's a square cake platter now.
Okay, here's the oak cake stand that I ended up putting on the walnut base. The contrast is just gorgeous there. And here is the Bourbon barrel stave cake stand. This is unique, one of a kind. I've searched the internet and I've never found one. This is the first of its kind. Not only did my wife influence me into making the cake stand platter square, but we changed and did the base and made it square. It just really made a difference. And you can see the curves of the staves, the chard of the interior, and that's coated with Total Boats tabletop epoxy. The base, the spindle, and and the platter of this one are all treated with Total Boats Halcyon. So they are very water protected from the elements, let's say. So the occasional wash will not hurt these stands. I hope you enjoyed this build. If you enjoy what you're seeing, please hit the subscribe button and come back to our YouTube channel often, or click the notification bell, and you'll be notified every time we post a video. Until next time, happy cakes. And by the way, the next time you see this cake stand, there'll be a cake on it.